Hey everybody, my name is Angela. I'm Christine. And we want to talk to you about child abuse. Not necessarily child abuse by families. I realize children are abused by families. However, child abuse we want to talk to you about is government child abuse. Child abuse by either CPS or DSS, whichever they want to call themselves. Each state is different. In South Carolina, where I currently live, it's called DSS. In Texas, where my grandchildren are in foster care, it's called CPS. Doesn't matter, protection services, whatever you want to call yourself. You don't protect anybody except yourselves. Well, and probably your bank account. Anyway, I'm going to try very hard to have a regular video blog of what's going on in my case, since they are my grandchildren, with my daughter, who's 20. I'm going to try not to name names because I don't want to be held specifically liable financially for naming these people who are the ones specifically responsible for the lack of care that my grandchildren are receiving. I'm going to try very hard not to name my grandchildren in this process because I don't want it to be misconstrued that I'm trying to use them as, pawns or anything. But they're the victims, not me, not my daughter, my family, in a sense, I guess, depending upon how you look at it. But mostly the victims are these kids, not just the kids in my family, kids all over the country. Every election year, here we are, Barack Obama's fixing to be president, and every election year, we hear about family values. Family values for who? Rich people? Because you don't care about family values with poor people. People like myself who make less than 25 grand a year. And I happen to also be a United States veteran. I wore that uniform. For what? The government doesn't care about my family. The government doesn't care about my grandkids and what they're doing. It's kind of hard to stay focused in this world and not get so, I don't know, hateful. Discouraged, exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous. In my case in particular, the case with my family, my oldest daughter, for whatever reason, when her oldest child, who is about to be 3 in July of 2009, he will be 3, he's 2.5 now. When he was 2 months old, 3 months old, she brought him to me and she left him with me. I had him for 16 months in my custody. I received no food stamps, no Medicaid, no nothing during this time, no government assistance of any kind. I was active duty military at the time, so I paid for all his diapers, all his formula, everything. We didn't even get WIC. So for 16 months, I support this child. He lives in my household. And when my daughter up and decides that she wants to come back into his life and get him, I flipped out. I called CPS. I expected this agency to do something about the fact that my daughter abandoned her child and then, left him with me. What did they do? Nothing. In February of 2008, my daughter gave birth to her second child, which is what, I guess, kind of spurred her to come and take the first one. They've been in foster care since March. They were returned to my daughter and her husband approximately, I don't know, a month before he deployed to Afghanistan. He deployed again in June. Less than a month after he deployed, the second CPS case was opened on my daughter, and this time her children were placed in what they're calling kinship care with her mother-in-law, her husband's mother, who has no biological relationship to the oldest grandchild and only related to the youngest grandchild. And my daughter is also pregnant with her third child. But anyway, I digress. In August of this year, I relocated from South Carolina to Texas to be available for kinship placement for my grandchildren, at the expense of $5,000 to myself and $1,500 to my in-laws, who paid the retainer for the attorney, and then I had to pay another $2,000. So a total of altogether, since the 1st of August, and it is now December of 2008, my family has spent approximately $10,000 due to the fact of trying to get these kids out of foster care, and nothing's worked. In the time that I went out there and I filed an intervention in the state of Texas, I was called domineering. I was made to do a psych evaluation. I had to turn over financial records. They wanted to know everything about me, everything about my other minor children, everything about my husband, criminal record. I mean, come on, people. I just got out of the Army. If I had a problem, don't you think the Army would have known? But that doesn't seem to make a difference to these people, you know. I have no criminal record. I mean, speeding tickets. That's my worst. I do like to drive fast, I will admit. So that's my vice. But other than that, I've not broken any laws. I never abused my children. I've done everything possible in this case. I've supported the oldest child in the case for 16 months. Yet, the CPS care? No. Because it doesn't put money in their pocket. We need a movement. I want people to contact me through YouTube. I'm going to be setting up a MySpace as well as a blog. It's time to get something going because this is ridiculous. They can't just say, oh, we have family values, but only for the rich people, while they trample the rest of us to death. You know, I'm speaking out even though there could be great cost to my family and I may never see my grandchildren again as a result of this. But I still believe in what I believed when I joined the Army. I believe in freedom and a cause. That's why I wore the uniform. And I believe that even though the personal cost to me and my family could be high, it's worth it if somebody's family can be spared the crap that CPS is doing. So y'all holler back. Check out my new blogs whenever we get a chance to post them. And let's get it done. Let's let government know and the new president know that we're not going to take this anymore. We're tired of the government tearing apart our families. Let's stop it.